Well, good morning, humanity. It's May 2, 2022, and it's our favorite time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And hi, everybody, my name's Paul.
Good morning, this is Bev.
Yeah, 2, May 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, all these
Two,
2, 2,
two, two.
2, 2,
A lot of two.
2.
Catch the two train.
All right, so I think we're on. Yeah, we're on Facebook here. So welcome everybody. It's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And today we're going to build some more on that wonderful workshop we had on Wednesday about chronic pain with the presentation by Eileen Webster because
Oh,
it was awesome.
it was totally awesome. I mean, let's face it, chronic pain, that's a really important thing to be talking about. How many people are in chronic pain?
Right, right, exactly. So hey, if you're listening and you're in chronic pain, put a little yes on.
Yeah.
Just type in
Join
yes.
the club.
Join. Let's just see how many comments come up with yes or no. And if you want to put what your pain is, that's great too. And we're going to try to address this pain situation, and we want to go over some of the details of that presentation. And the first one we want to share, though, is her little speaker thing that she did. That little, I'll just show it here. The pain pathway. There it is. You know how you stub yourself, or you hit yourself, or you hurt yourself, and these pain pathways, and it goes to the spine, and it goes up the spine depending on how intense it is, and then it goes to the brain. That's what we're going to get to. The brain. The brain signals it out, and then brings it back down the spinal column. To decide, well, is this a pain I need to worry about? Is it a pain that's going to go away? And the whole cycle up and down the spine and into the brain. And oh my gosh.
All I got to say is, who knew?
Who knew? Right. It's sort of like you stub your toe, but the pain's not in your toe.
All in your head.
Talk about right. And so sometimes when these doctors say, "Oh, it's all in your head," we sort of got to go, "Well, you're actually right."
Well, now, doctor, you're talking. You're right.
But it's amazing how it's all so connected. The brain, the spinal column, the nerve train,
Oh
the
my.
cellular part, right? That really you hit on that one, didn't you?
Yes, I'm telling you. Well, two things that really I went. First of all, when she started talking about it's all in your head, I'm like, oh my gosh, that headset, as we always know, is just a dynamo of loving care for the body, right? There's so much that happens from that. But when she started talking about the nerve pathways and the cellular signals, I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder BioTouch is so amazing. This is exactly what it does.
Right, right.
This is what it does. It's just like the perfect thing for all of that, man.
So, and we wanted to take a little bit of time here to build on this concept and show you, first of all, the research. So, we can actually say now, based on the research we're going to show you here, it has been clinically proven to help with pain, reducing of pain signals, the pain,
Yep.
And I'm just going to show first the first one that we did here. This was with Dr. Gary Schwartz, and we did primary pain locations. And you can see there we did it at a drug rehab community. We did it at a California facility. We did it in a Hawaii facility, our Arizona facility. Well over 900 people, and you can see that blue strong line on top, all near the sevens. Those are the pains pre-session, and you can see that dotted red line below is the pain reduction pre and post session. I mean, everybody had a reduction in pain just pre and post session. And so the P factor of less than 0.0001, because we had so many people, showed that that was not by happenstance, that something was going on with the presentation of BioTouch to the body that helped reduce pain. Well, so we did it again. We did it with a whole different group of people and got the same results. And then we have the Dr. Kenna Stevenson research. And what she did is she added a questionnaire. It's 100 questions or so. It's called the SF36. And part of that measures where you are with 8 domains. 4 of them are physical domains, and 4 of them are emotional domains. And she found an improvement in all 8 domains. So people's pain went away, people's emotional well-being improved. And then to add to that, to see, well, is this just over a 4 8 week period? What is it consistent if I don't get biotouch for a while? So she did 4 weeks of no touch, and her theory was she really believed at a point that biotouch was about belief. Well, what she found after 4 weeks of no touch and doing that measurement again, the physical pains had stayed improved, less pain over those times. Some of the emotional things went back to a baseline. And so to her, that was something was going on physiologically.
Right.
So, so
Right.
the research shows a reduction in pain, pre and post and long term.
Wow. I know. I love that all that research that we really do have. And I mean, when I was listening to Eileen the other night at the workshop, I'm writing down all these notes and everything I look at. It's like BioTouch does this. This is BioTouch. This is what BioTouch does. And even she said that in her business, that BioTouch is so integrative with what she does. Being a pharmaceutical, a cannabis pharmacist, and I think that's just amazing what she has done. And by the way, what the first licensed cannabis pharmacist in Arizona.
Right, that was amazing. So
and she's part of our work here in the world. Wow, I was just, but she really opened my senses, my awareness, this amazing body. And even more so when we say that BioTouch addresses the body, and everything that is held in that body is going to be affected. But this is that whole thing about Kenna going, wow, it's not emotional at all. It's not a belief system at all. Something's actually happening in the body itself with BioTouch.
right.
And Eileen the other night when she was, presenting, I'm like, this is, I mean, even all of us who've been doing BioTouch for years, when we hear stories of people telling us and their testimonials of this happened, you're like, huh? What? No. I don't know why we insist on, but the research shows there is definitely something going on with BioTouch. And
Right.
for me, Eileen really did just kind of cement that in my head, all those pathways, all that cellular, the story, changing the story from Dr. Bruce Lipton, everything is like coming together here.
And it's
Something's
difficult.
happening with
Right.
BioTouch.
And it's, there's another part of it, and I'll show that here. She talked about how pain becomes chronic. And she talked about that circle, where worsening pain, lack of sleep, decreased energy and activity, poor diet gets into it, then anxiety and depression from the pain, and then worse pain. And it goes round and round. And so many times I've seen people who come in here, and what BioTouch does, even just the greeting and the neck and the head, breaks the cycle. It
Yeah.
breaks the pain cycle. And if you can break it even for a moment, the body and its inflammation has a time to calm down a little bit, and then start to build itself. And so, what we're doing is we're trying to get the body and the inflammation to calm down so the body can get stronger. And we see that. That's why BioTouch is about consistency.
Yeah.
Again, we're not faith healers. We don't, slap somebody who can't walk on the forehead and they stand up and walk. This is about relationship building
Yep.
for the purpose of healing. And that's why we say it's really about one person touching another. Self healing is a nice idea, but a problem happens with that. You can get stuck in that cycle even more. If you have incredible amount of pain and you try to do self healing, you're trying to dissociate yourself from a pain that you're identified with.
Right.
And so if you don't get better, now you've doubled the pain, you've doubled the problem. You now have a emotional problem because, oh, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, and
Right.
on and on and on. So that's why it's so vital to bring someone else into our healing practice.
I think you touched on something that I've thought about many times in this and in these times. We've humanity has been on a path of separateness for a very long time. Me and you and all of that, I and me, and even in the healing communities, this idea, these these complementary, integrative, holistic, they're about self-healing. Well, self-healing is really the end result. However, in BioTouch explicitly says, well, that self-healing is lovely, but that's not the path for humanity to true healing. True healing is a relationship. True healing is bringing us into a wholeness. We need each other. That's just a simple fact in nature. The illusion is that we've been separated. The message through BioTouch is no, we need to bring ourselves back into the truth about who we are. We're here together. We need each other. That is when we're all going to experience wholeness, balance, and true healing with each other. And so I can't, like you say, the concept of self-healing is lovely, but that's not the way.
Right.
You get caught up in the separated little ego that says me, I, this,
Right.
and that's part of our problem.
And so those two fingers touching somebody just below that breastbone, very lightly like a butterfly, like Gary Schwartz says, it's a profound expression of love. And it's through that love and the changing of the cellular dialogue, just changing, and as Bruce Lipton said, it's about love. And
Yep.
it's not about having to create a concept of that. When you reach out and touch another human being with those two fingers lightly in that spot, it's automatic. The beauty of BioTouch is you don't have to think about it. You don't have to project oneness. You don't have to see that person as myself and myself as that person. It's an automatic experience that of where healing happens, which is why I think it's so powerful.
Right. Well, here's the thing about love. Self-love, yes, that's important, but love is an exchange between, you can't keep it right here. It has to go out. And BioTouch really gives us the opportunity to share that incredible essence with other people, with each other. You can't keep something like love to yourself.
Right.
And that's what BioTouch, one of its most powerful gifts, is that it gives us the opportunity for so many things, but one of the things is to experience something outside of ourselves. And we bring that self-love to another human being. You cannot keep love to yourself. It's
Right.
impossible, because that's our nature. And BioTouch is what? It is love.
And so Eileen's writing up here too. She's written a few things, but one thing she says, "What I do for you, I do for me."
That's the way it works.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so, it's time to reach out. We just spent a few years in a pandemic, isolating, going within, and now it's time. We don't have an excuse anymore. Reach out and touch someone. Bring someone into your life. A friend, a family member, a card. Somebody you play cards with. It doesn't matter. It's very simple just by doing that greeting and even just the next set. And I like the neck set, because a lot of what's happening to people is this neck is like wringing out. It's like getting tighter and tighter. It's like taking a cloth and you're trying to wring out all the water. Well, that's what's happening to a lot of our necks. We're sitting in front of the TV or the computer and we're constantly like this. And so when that gets disconnected, then the brain that we learned from Eileen, the brain body connection is not clear. It's not open. The messages, you can't even get healing work in through there. because there's a disconnect at this
Yeah.
level. So it's
Yeah.
like this brain's walking over here and this body's over here.
Well, you know what? We've got the head and then we've got the body. What connects the two? It is the neck. It's the bridge, right? If something's going on and that's all gunked up, you're right. The mind-body connection is broken right there.
So let's just show it to you right here. We don't even need to show you the video. You take the 2 fingers of each hand, right? And just touch lightly, go to the middle of your neck and touch lightly just on the sides of those muscles and just hold that lightly for 6 to 8 seconds. Just practice on yourself here right now. And then, or if you have somebody next to you, then take those 2 fingers, go right up to the base of the skull on the side of those muscles at the base of the skull. And then at the bottom of the neck, just before it hits into the shoulders there. And you can just repeatedly do that. You just 6 to 8 seconds, lightly like a butterfly.
I mean, my goodness.
And then
how
slowly
easy is
sleep. I mean,
and yet, you know what? When I'm sure we've all experienced it, when we get to be the practitioner, the associate, that next set, when we do the next set on another person, we can tell how that's really an amazing opportunity for the body because those nerves go into the head and then they go down into from that big bone, what we call the big bone at the base of the neck, and it goes into the upper extremities. Da 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 da. I mean, wow.
So then just take 2 fingers and touch somebody where they're in pain. So you've done the greeting. Take the 2 fingers and just lightly touch all kinds of ways around the pain.
Right.
That's all there is to it. And people feel relief. Now, you know what the problem is? People go, oh my God, I don't hurt. That feels great. 24 hours later, yeah, the pain's going to come back. Do they remember to get BioTouch again? No.
But they would remember to take a pill that the doctor said take every 8 hours.
Right. Take every 4 to 8 hours. Oh, the pain came back. I better take another pill. Look, BioTouch is at the same level of that, but it doesn't create dangerous pathways. It doesn't create contraindications. It doesn't create a situation.
No side effects.
No, it's not a long list of stuff at the end of the drug commercial.
Oh.
No, you can do it. And then 6 hours later, do it again. And then do it again. And just keep doing it. And pretty soon, the pain will forget.
The body gets the message.
Right. So we can't do more than enough to keep reminding you. So you go to our research page. There's all the research data. You can pull up the whole conversation that Eileen gave us it's on website. It's on our under chronic pain. It's on our YouTube. It's on our Facebook postings. If nothing else, if you don't want to learn the points, at least listen to her conversation and her teaching about what pain is and how we hold pain in our body. It was very well done. So
yeah.
So the date is in. Do BioTouch for your pain. Nothing else we can do besides say that.
Over and over again.
So that's our job here, is to keep reminding us every Monday, over and over and over. BioTouch, BioTouch, BioTouch. Go to our website, justtouch.com. Send us an email, office@justtouch.com. We're here to help. We know we can do it. We can teach you over a telephone. We can teach you through a Zoom meeting. That's our job. So thank you, Bev.
Thank you, Paul.
And thank you, everybody, for letting us come in to bring a little bit of pain relief to you and your family. So until next week, have a nice week. Oh,
have a
happy
lovely week.
Cinco de Mayo, too, coming up. May Day yesterday, Cinco de Mayo. So
yes.
All right, we love you all. Bye.
If pain has got you down and you live in town, take a trip down to Pima Street. The people down there are people who care. They will get you back on your feet. Put love into action. Put love into action. If you ever want to have any real satisfaction. Choose love while you still can. Don't even try to understand. A healing grace in your own hands. Put love into action.